The Beef Today Report is brought to you by John Deere and your local John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a deer.
Day 2 of the Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA trade show gets going later this morning in Tampa, Florida. Cattle producers from across the country will gather to discuss issues that the industry must face, such as a dwindling herd size brought on by persistent drought. The drought and high feed costs have kept the industry in liquidation mode rather than expansion for a couple of years now. Last Friday's USDA report shows overall cattle inventory numbers are at their lowest level since 1952. According to our reporting partners at Beef Today, some analysts expect this to be the bottom in terms of cow numbers, and that expansion will happen as long as it rains. Ag Day's Clinton Griffiths is on assignment at the Cattle Industry Convention. Clinton?
Well, we're in beautiful downtown Tampa at the 2013 Cattle Industry Meeting and NCBA Convention. I'm joined by J.D. Alexander, who's the president of NCBA. J.D., let's talk about what issues you'll be discussing this week. And I'm sure the national herd size is going to be one of the biggest concerns.
No doubt about it. Our national herd is of great concern to us. You know, it's the lowest it's been in over 60 years, so we're very concerned about that. Of course, that ties right into the drought. Sure. And we are not going to be able to increase our herd until we get something done with the drought. You know, we'd like to just say, okay, let's turn the industry back on and expand, but it's going to be up to each individual's producer in their operations to make that determination down the road.
What are you going to tell producers as we get into spring and hopefully some grass starts growing? How we get through another tough years? I mean, it's kind of stacking up that way.
Well, it is, and really we needed a shot in the arm in our industry, and the thing I'm glad to say is we finally got some good news actually out of Japan. You know, we're recognizing we worked for 10 years to get that market back to where it was, and this is really going to help us by moving that age restriction of under 20 months to up and below 30 months of age. So this is really good news for industry, and you know, we'll take everything in stride. We're survivors, and we'll get through this as well.
Yeah, what about farm policy? We didn't get a farm bill in 2012. That was one thing we talked about all year. We still don't have any drought disaster assistance for cattlemen. What is your goal going forward this year?
We're going to continue to work with them. You know, that it is very disappointing that they've elected not to do anything. We do have to have some securities. I mean, and if this drought persists, we're definitely going to need some assistance in that level. You know, we're also looking at research. We always continue to be doing research in our industry. You know, we really need to have some things that we can have not a moving target to. Unfortunately, a lot of times we've got moving targets, so we can't really know how we need to build our operations, and that's really discouraging and disappointing. But, you know, there are some things that we're working on, and we'll continue to have a seat at the table in making those determinations. All
right, well, we'll be right there with you watching it all. Thanks for talking with us. And we'll give it back to you there in the studio.